Hey moviegoers! Welcome back to our channel, your ultimate destination for all things cinema. I'm Jamie.
And I'm Alex.
Action! Today we're talking about the fascinating rise of indie films. Grab your popcorn and let's get started.
So what exactly are indie films? Indie, or independent films, are movies produced outside the major film studio system. They often have lower budgets but come packed with creativity and unique storytelling.
That's right, Alex. These films are usually made by passionate filmmakers who want to tell their stories without the restrictions of big studios. Think of movies like The Blair Witch Project, which became a cultural phenomenon, or Napoleon Dynamite, which charmed audiences with its quirky humor.
Indie films often take risks that big-budget movies can't afford to. This can mean unconventional narratives, experimental techniques, or controversial topics that might not appeal to mainstream audiences but resonate deeply with niche audiences.
And let's not forget the actors. Many now famous actors got their start in indie films. Think of Jennifer Lawrence in Winter's Bone or Ryan Gosling in Half Nelson. These films often serve as a launching pad for new talent.
Indie films have been around for a while, but their rise to prominence really started in the 1980s and 1990s. One of the major milestones was the establishment of the Sundance Film Festival in 1985, which gave indie filmmakers a platform to showcase their work.
Sundance quickly became the premier venue for indie films, launching careers and setting trends. Films like Sex, Lies, and Videotape by Steven Soderbergh and Reservoir Dogs by Quentin Tarantino made huge impacts.
The 90s saw a boom in indie cinema with studios like Miramax, which was behind hits like Pulp Fiction and Good Will Hunting. These movies showed that indie films could be both critically acclaimed and commercially successful. Fast forward to the 2000s and beyond, and we've seen indie films breaking into mainstream success. Jordan Peele's Get Out, for example, was made on a $4.5 million budget and grossed over $255 million worldwide.
Absolutely, Alex. Another great example is Her, directed by Spike Jonze. It had a modest budget of $23 million and won an Academy Award for Best Original Screenplay. Its futuristic love story captivated audiences and critics alike.
And let's not overlook Lady Bird, a coming-of-age film by Greta Gerwig. Made on a $10 million budget, it grossed over $78 million and was nominated for 5 Academy Awards. Indie films like these prove that compelling stories can come from anywhere.
Indie films have also paved the way for diverse voices and stories that might not be told otherwise. Moonlight, directed by Barry Jenkins, won the Academy Award for Best Picture and brought attention to important themes of identity and sexuality.
Hey Jamie, hit pause for a sec.
You got it!
Be sure to like, subscribe, and turn on those notifications so you don't miss a thing. Now back to the show. Making an indie film is a labor of love. These filmmakers often wear many hats, directing, producing, and sometimes even acting in their films. Budgets are tight, so they get creative with locations and resources.
Exactly. You'll often see them filming in real locations instead of expensive sets, and they rely heavily on their crew's dedication and passion. It's a collaborative effort, and every team member plays a crucial role.
The production process is often shorter than for big studio films, but that doesn't mean it's any less intense. In fact, the shorter timeline can lead to a more focused and driven set, where everyone is fully committed to bringing the story to life.
And let's talk about funding. Indie filmmakers often turn to crowdfunding platforms like Kickstarter or Indiegogo to raise money for their projects. This not only helps them gather the necessary funds, but also builds an early audience of supporters.
One of the biggest game changers for indie films has been the rise of streaming services. Platforms like Netflix, Amazon Prime, and Hulu have created new opportunities for indie filmmakers to reach global audiences.
Streaming has democratized film distribution. Now you don't need a theatrical release to find success. Films like Manchester by the Sea and The Big Sick found massive audiences through streaming platforms.
These platforms also provide more creative freedom, allowing filmmakers to explore unconventional narratives and formats. Netflix, for example, gave Alfonso Cuarón the freedom to make Roma, a deeply personal and visually stunning film that won multiple Oscars.
Additionally, streaming services have helped revive the interest in short films and documentaries, giving them a platform to reach wider audiences. Indie filmmakers now have more avenues than ever to share their stories with the world.
But it's not all smooth sailing. Indie filmmakers face numerous challenges, from securing funding to distribution. It's a tough industry, and getting your film noticed can be a Herculean task.
Financial constraints are a major hurdle. Without the backing of a major studio, indie filmmakers often have to be resourceful and creative in how they allocate their limited budgets. This can mean cutting costs on everything from locations to equipment.
Distribution is another significant challenge. While streaming services have opened new doors, getting your film picked up by these platforms can still be difficult. Film festivals remain a crucial avenue for indie films to gain exposure and find distributors.
Despite these challenges, the passion and drive of indie filmmakers keep the industry thriving. They continue to push boundaries and bring fresh, innovative stories to the screen. Their resilience and creativity are truly inspiring.
So what's next for indie films? With advancing technology and evolving distribution channels, the future looks bright. Virtual reality, crowdfunding, and new streaming platforms are opening up even more possibilities.
We're also seeing a rise in diversity and representation in indie films. Filmmakers from various backgrounds are bringing their unique perspectives to the forefront, enriching the industry with their diverse voices and stories.
The indie film community continues to grow and evolve, embracing new technologies and innovative storytelling methods. We're excited to see how indie films continue to shape and influence the broader film industry.
Their unique voices and stories are essential, and we can't wait to see what the next generation of indie filmmakers will create. The future of indie films is definitely something to look forward to. Thanks for watching, moviegoers. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on those notifications.
If you like this video, check out some of our others all about the big screen.